Hey, welcome back to another Fresh Paint Live with Kelly Weiler. You are in Girl Upcycled Studio. So we are continuing another live. I'm doing this 30 days in a row. It's a 30-day challenge. And so I'm back again. I'm sorry I'm running a little bit late. I was just trying to get here on time. We had two cats running around outside, and then they were inside. We're chasing them. You know how it is with kittens. So here I am. We made it, and we have kind of a fun project. This is going to be quite a few days. So this will probably be at least a 3-day project. Okay. So today I'm just going to start you from the very start until finish. So we're going to go all the way through on this. This is a custom order that I have from a customer. This is her piece. This is a piece that used to belong to my customer's mother, and it had sat out for a little bit of time out on one of her front porches maybe, and so it's gotten a little bit of weather. However, she wanted to go ahead and just have it completely fixed back up again and pull it back into her house and just kind of make it a main focal. So we are going to make this completely just beautiful. It's going to look completely different by the time I get done. So I have already wiped everything down. I have a terry cloth towel, and I just have a little bit of Dawn and water. You could do Dawn with water and vinegar. That works well. I often use Simple Green. So any of those products, so you just want to give it a good clean down. You want to also make sure that if you have paint that's chipping, that you get a little scraper and scrape it if it needs it. And this has already been scraped. And you want to make any repairs at this time. So you can tell the front face of the secretary has been replaced. Her husband went ahead and replaced that for me. So my hubs would not have to do that. And so they've got just a brand new piece that they've replaced. But it was very warped and looking kind of bad. So I think it looks pretty good. So this is the inside of it. Let me show you. Pretty cute, huh? Hi, Amy and Maggie. Lots and lots of colors. So today my colors, I have a couple of greens that I'm going to be using. So let me just get this wiped out. The inside of this is a little bit, spray it, a little bit grungy. So I already know what I'm going to do on the outside of it. I haven't decided what I want to do on the inside yet. I'll do something in here, but it may be a little different than the body of it. So whenever you're working with customers, make sure you talk to them about how they're going to use it, how they're going to display it. She said she's going to have this displayed open quite a bit. So I want to make sure that it looks nice in the inside just as much as the outside. Hello, Dee. It is, right? It's very cute. So let's get started. So that's clean. And I've got a little bit of, it's a color called Monet's Garden. And it's a beautiful forest green, I would say. It's called Monet's Garden. You can kind of see it right there. So I'm going to start with this color. Let me put and then I'm also going to start off with a couple of brushes. My two brushes that I'm using today, I'm going to use probably my Paint Pixie brush is great for the corners and up along the molding, so I'll probably use that for that area. Hi, Wendy. And then I've got my my Paint Pixie. I've just got my nylon brush. Really like the nylon. very, very well. Okay, so let's go ahead and dig in here and start painting. And we will just take you through this step by step as I go. I'm going to have several layers on here. So it's going to actually look very different than when I start. So I don't know if you will be able to see back. No, you can't see back there, can you? I have a buffet that I painted, and it's gotten quite a bit of attention. And it's going to be colors that are very reminiscent of that buffet. I did water this down a bit because I was right at the end of my can. And there's going to be so many layers to it, so it's going to be fine. I've got another color that I'm going to be working on here a little bit as well. So I'm not really too worried about, my brush strokes yet or anything like that. This paint finish is actually going to have quite a bit of texture. Hello, Joe. First time you've watched me paint furniture. Forward to it. Yeah, it's going to be like I said, it's going to be several. We'll do this in several days. Because it's kind of hard to get on here and start to finish a piece. I could have probably had the base coats on, but I think it's always good, especially if you're a beginner, to see things from start to finish, right? Hi, Miss Tanya. How's everybody? You enjoying your weekend? Get over here, paint this side. Now, let's just hypothetically say that you wanted to paint this very piece, like a nice, clean, crisp white color. You would want to put the Salvation solution on this first, which is a primer. And not so much to keep it on, but more so to allow that crisp white to come through if you're doing a white color. So since we are doing multiple colors and darker colors, we don't have to worry about that. Which is kind of like the cool thing about using paint of this nature. It's very forgiving as far as that goes. Just painting real quick and I'll work around. So you notice I'm in a different area of my studio here. Oh, you guys probably, I don't know if you can see me. Let me move the camera. I'm at a different area right now. Green is my favorite. It's going to be a blended finish, distressed, or chippy. It's going to be thick and texturized. I'm not sure if you all have seen the buffet that I did, but I will show you guys a picture of it here in a little bit. Or maybe I can take you over to see it. And she really, really likes the finish of it. So I'm basically duplicating that paint finish, which is layered and it's texturized. There's a lot of movement, variations of color. And then we will also be doing an IOD transfer on this called Redoute number 4. So looks like think maybe he replaced some of these little legs too. Okay, you can see a little bit through this. Let me go ahead and shut it. I went ahead and took all of the knobs off, pretty much. Well, let me change over into change my brush. I'm going right over the hinges. I'm not really worried about hinges or anything right now. We will be putting new hardware on, like for the knobs at least. Go ahead and open this back up, actually. Paint the top of this. Such a cute piece, right? Excuse my hair today, gang. This is normally my day off, so I'm just wearing what I would have on at home. And been busy at home. Had a nice workout. Size. It's going to look just so different, just this color alone, right? Oh, you're mossy. Textured finish, yes. Yeah, very similar to that. Ooh, there is my, shoot. Guys, I'm going to have to grab my battery. My battery thingy. Hold on, I did that a couple days ago. Hold on. It should be pretty fun. The IOD that I'm going to use, the Redoute It, or Redoute, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It's really nice because you can cut it up and you kind of just place it where you want it as you're creating. So it really, even though I'm going to be doing a very similar paint finish, it's going to really look different just because you're kind of, you know, it's a different piece, so it's going to be laid out differently. Here, before, let me take you guys over before I plug you in. I should have enough battery for that. Hold on. Taking you for a tour. One of these days, I'll have to take y'all for a tour, especially on YouTube. I don't know that I have done that in a while. So, see if I can get out of the way. So this is the piece that we will be recreating. There we go. Let me straighten up my camera. Sorry, it's a little wonky because I'm just carrying around my laptop. Okay. So it's going to be similar to that. Should be pretty. I get a lot of people ask me about that one. And so, yeah, this will be a good opportunity for y'all to kind of see how it's done. All that good stuff. So again, my first color is Monets Garden, and we will be layering a lot of colors on this and all that, but I will tell you the dark color as the base is very nice for depth, okay? And I also teach this in my art classes to change the value. Let's cut that in. The French tip is really nice for cutting into those little nooks and crannies like I'm doing. Because it has that nice little tip on it. So it can really cut in pretty well. comes my landlord, and I am live right now. So French tip, and then I'm also using for my main brush, I'm using the nylon, the bigger nylon brush. So that's what went around the corner. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start on this bottom area so that you can kind of see a little bit, you know, so you can watch a little bit more. So I know that you probably are not able to see the little details that I'm doing with the brush, are you? So let's just skip and go down here and work just a little bit down here, okay? Again, my French tip, getting around all those little corners. I'm not real sure if we are keeping this little, the little lock and key area or not. We might be getting rid of that. So for right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and paint over it. I know the knobs, we will be replacing all of the knobs on here. And just a little tip, I'll show you what the knobs are looking like. This is what the original looks like. She does want them replaced, so we will be replacing them, but let's say that you are going to keep them. Something that I like to do is I just put them in a little cup like this, and I'll put like layers of like tape over top of it so they don't go anywhere, and then I just write right on the side of it what project I am working on and maybe the date, and then like the customer's name. That way, it will stay right with the piece that I'm working on. I would put it inside the drawer so that whenever this gets moved throughout the time that it's here, I would just stick this right inside the piece so it's always with the piece that it came with, okay? You want to do the same thing with hinges on cabinets. If you are changing out the hinges, I would number them on, you know, which way they are. Like the top one would be 1, the bottom would be 2. So you always want to kind of number those as well. And that way they're sure to fit, right? Okay. Let's go ahead and just put on here really good. Now, like I said, this piece is pretty weathered. It's been outside, right? So it is really absorbing quite a bit of paint. So we want to make sure we get a nice solid coverage on this first coat. Those of you that are new here on YouTube, welcome. Make sure you introduce yourself. I'm meeting all kinds of new people over there on YouTube, so it's been really kind of fun. Go ahead and paint the bottom. Again, French tips, perfect for working in these little areas. I do have a few of these left, and I do have these in 2 sizes. So I have this larger size. This is the one that I actually use the most, but I do have a smaller one that you may prefer. You know, especially if you're painting smaller pieces all the time, and little spindles and things like that, then you may want to go for that small French tip. You guys, if you have any questions about furniture painting, make sure that you put your questions in the comment section, even if you're catching this days later or a year later over on YouTube, and I'll I try to make sure that I answer as much as I can so that I help you. And this is going to really absorb in because there is no paint on this. That'll really kind of stain that wood and absorb in, which is kind of good. All right. Let me come up here and see if I missed any questions. I love that buffet. It'll be fun to watch this. Thanks, Dee, over on YouTube. Good morning, Patricia and Wendy. How are you? I'm trying to see that picture on the floor on the left side of the screen. Did you paint that as well? Oh my goodness, my dolphin? Is that what you mean? Is this the one? I did this live, you guys, and you can find a video from start to finish. It is gorgeous. I don't know if you can see the metallic in it, but it really is gorgeous. I hope, is that the one you're talking about? I have quite a few pieces in here, and yes, I painted all of them. But that one will be up for sale soon. I just have got so many that I need to get up on my website. Okay, so back to this. So let's bounce back here. You want to make sure you take your knobs off. I'll lift a couple on. The insides of the drawers, you need to kind of just evaluate yourself, what it needs, and make a decision. If they're in bad shape, of course, you can always paint them. You can always, and something I often do is I use Dark and Decrepit, and I use that as a stain. It is an all-natural product too, which is nice because you don't have to breathe all those harsh chemicals. But it is a beautiful stain, and that is something that I might do to this one. I may just go ahead and stain those drawers, or at least stain the sides so that when my customer opens it, it just looks fresh and new, okay? Yes, okay, good. That was one. Yeah, that was an intuitive piece of art that I painted. So you'll have to look over on YouTube and check that out. Because that was kind of fun how that one evolved. Okay. I'm not too concerned, guys, about my brush strokes, like I said in the beginning, okay, because I'm going to be adding a lot of texture to this. So I am basically just getting this undercoat on here, okay? I'm just getting it on here so I can get on with some of that texture and some of those other layers. So I just want a fresh, dark coat here for starters for my base. And I'll put a nice, pretty, it'll give it a little depth is what it's going to do. Okay. You do make sure that, like I said, that you have scraped it real well. This paint is going to stick to just about anything. However, if you put it over top of something that is coming off in layers, then of course it may, you know, because of that base coat, if you don't get it prepped and ready, it could peel off on you because of that. But this paint alone is going to, it adheres to pretty much anything. As y'all know, you've watched me all week painting fabric and metal and brass and all the different things, right? So let me get this finished, and then I'll start layering a little bit of the other color on, just a little bit. And I may have to go grab. I think I'll just use my Pixie French. I think we're good. I do have some of the Monets Garden left. I think I have 1 quart left. I think I have more coming, but I have 1 quart left, and I think I have maybe 3 or 4 sample sizes of this left. My sister calls this park bench green. I don't know why. It makes her think of park benches, I guess. So, okay. So that's that. Let me put another coat. A little more here. And you don't have to thin this down like I did, guys. You can use it in its real thick state if you want to. This real quick. Now, if something happens and you do get a little bit of paint on the grid part, like this has the wire on it. So if I was to get a little bit of paint on there, so this paint, until it cures or until you seal it, you can kind of just get a wet wipe and clean it right up. So it's very user friendly that way. So what I'll do is if I see there's like one little place, I'll just take a little wet wipe and we'll just wipe it right off. It'll come right off. It's very easy. Are y'all doing picnics and things like that today? I think I'm going to stop and pick up some stuff for the grill. I'll paint this other side, I think, when y'all aren't with me. I'll just paint it real quick after I'm done so I don't bore you just doing this top first coat. Any other questions about, for beginners really, for starting out a piece? Do you have any hesitations? Do you have anything you'd like to ask me? Now's the time to do it because you have me here live, so I can answer any of those questions. So I'm going to pop on over and I'm going to grab another shade of green. This is called Salty Kiss. This is, again, Debbie's Design Diary, DIY clay-based paint, all natural, no VOC. So we're going to use this and start with a little bit of coating here with this. I'm just going to dip right in with my same brush. And we're going to just kind of start stippling little places for right now. And so I'm just kind of tapping it in. Just tapping. I am not sure how many days I am. I think I'm more than halfway through my 30-day live challenge. So I think what I'm going to do, ladies, is I think I'm going to try to dedicate like so many days a week that I will be live teaching, especially over on YouTube. I'll be live there so many days a week, and I will announce what that time will be. I can't decide if I want to do it like early, like 11 o'clock or 12, or if I want to do later, like 6. I know my energy level is usually a little bit less at 6. So I noticed that yesterday. So we'll have to wait and see. I love the 2 o'clock time slot, but the days that I'm open, it's kind of hard for me to be live when I'm open because I don't have anybody else in here to take care of customers. So I have to kind of figure something else out. And I'm putting this on pretty thick. You guys can kind of just smack it on there if you need to. And I really like the fact that this handle is kind of long. It kind of causes you to be a little loose in your painting, which you guys know, those of you who've been watching me for any time, you know I love the long brushes because of that. It does cause you to be a little loose. So I know it's probably hard right now to understand what the heck I'm doing, especially if you are new to painting in this style. But this is just the process I go through to get the texture and the layers and the variation of colors, okay? The greens look gorgeous. Thank you, Mary from YouTube over there. So appreciate that. Yeah, and you can see the finished look I showed earlier in the video. If you missed that and you came in live, you can scroll back and see what the finished look's going to be, and it'll kind of make sense to you when you see that finished look. It's all about taking time and putting that texture and those layers on there. It really does matter. It is a little warm in here today. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't turn the air on because I won't be here other than just to do the live today. So let me see. Can y'all see? I'm about to repaint my coffee bar for the 8th time. Do I have to sand that wax down before I paint the next coat of DIY? You can, yes, you can sand it. You can put a degreaser on it, like maybe sand it first and then use like a degreaser and go over it and then see if it needs sanded again, and then you should be able just to go ahead. Now, disclaimer, I have just painted right over top of something I've waxed and it's been fine, but you do take a chance. It was a piece that was my own, and I just wanted to see what it would do. And for me, I just like to kind of push the envelope and push the rolls and see what happens. So I did not have any problem with it. It stayed on fine. And to be quite honest, you know, the paint sticks so well that, you know, so you can kind of use your discretion. You could maybe even try a little portion. You do run the risk of it, though, not turn out the way you want. So I do want to say that. Yeah, it's getting hot in here, guys. Hello, Judy. Have you ever used liquid sandpaper? Liquid sandpaper. I don't think so. It seems like that's been around for a while, hasn't it? I think so. I know some people that use that on cabinetry before. So, but no, I've not used it. And to me, I don't know. I just wouldn't want to have to do a whole other layer of painting, but I like doing the decorative stuff, but to do the full coverage, yeah, that's where I'm not sure I'd want to do that. But that's basically all I'm doing today, you guys, is I am just tapping in just different areas. This first layer. Some, you know, there will be some that will be covered, but I'm not worried about it. I just want to get that movement in here. So quiet in here today. The businesses are closed on our road on Sundays, so it's kind of quiet. It's going to be gorgeous. Thank you, Judy. I am lazy. Guess what I will do? What will you do? Patricia, tell me, what are you gonna do? Are you talking about the sand? Oh, you're talking about, do you have to sand it? Sand off the top coat, the wax. I think that's what you're referring to. Okay. So that's, whew, yeah, getting hot. So that's really all she wrote, guys, for this first step. Okay, now we are into, oh, that's not bad. So we have just over a half hour. We have about 36 minutes in, and I just have to finish the sides so you can tell how quick really this is. I'm thinking about doing the inside a little differently, so I'm not gonna finish that quite right now, but I think you guys get the idea. So I will come back and we'll be doing more layers on this throughout my next live. So let's see, tomorrow's Sunday, so I'm gonna try to be here at 2 tomorrow as well. To continue the marathon challenge, 30-day challenge. And I feel like I'm going to do it. I feel like I'm going to make it my 30 days. This is the first time I've done like a solid marathon like this. So we'll hopefully see y'all tomorrow at 2. And I understand it's a holiday, so you have fun, you guys. And if you can't make it, catch the replay later on in the evening. Okay, and you guys have a fun, safe holiday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, 2 o'clock. If you have not subscribed yet to my YouTube channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and you're going to want to hit that little bell so that you get notified every time I have a new video out, okay? So this should be fun, and I will see you tomorrow, and we will continue, all right? Bye, guys.